This podcast is brought to you by It Works. What is It Works? It's a Christian-based company that specializes in health and wellness with a variety of products with natural ingredients, including green supplements, keto support, daily skincare, and beauty products, and weight loss solutions. Best known for the Skinny Wrap, Slimming Gummies, and the Skinny Brew Coffee, which I can personally recommend and say it works. If you're looking for improved youthful looking skin, better digestive health, and a stronger immune system, weight loss with internal cleansing and body detoxification, and enhanced focus, mood, and energy, It Works can work for you. Go to ashleyperry.itworks.com and sign up now to become a loyal customer. Take the 90-day challenge and receive a 40% discount. Or, if you're interested in starting your side hustle, join now to become a distributor. Own your time and become a social media influencer working in your PJs right from your phone. Visit ashleyperry.itworks.com and watch It Works work for you today.
FX presents the Indu Podcast with your host, T. Sterling Watson.
Good morning, Indubians. I'm T. Sterling Watson.
And I'm Kortney.
This is the Indu Podcast, where morning drive time meets the late night talk show as we aim to entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Thank you for stopping by and pressing play. We're recording live from the south side of Wakanda in Little New Indubia on the corner of T'Chaka and MLK Drive. Kortney, how you doing?
I am just doing so good. I am grateful. I am blessed. Can't complain. Wouldn't help if I tried.
I hear that. And I'm well as well. I just got a great little piece of encouragement from my kid who said to me that he also wants to be a podcaster. So I'm touched. I know.
That's so cute.
Oh, and by the way, I'm also super excited because we've got some very special guests. So allow me to introduce them. They hail from New Wakanda, North Carolina. They are the hardest working podcasters this side of Michelle Obama's galaxy with their hit show, The Black Guy Who Tips Podcast, where the official weapon of choice is the taser. The official sport is bullet ball and bullet ball extreme. They are Arby's aficionados and wave that fan flag high and proud. Please welcome your favorite podcasters, Rod and Karen.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Baby, how y'all doing?
That felt like a game of two truths and a lie. And,
figure out what the lie is.
Yeah, I'll let y'all figure it out.
Well, I mean, they can guess. They can go to your podcast, which I highly recommend they do, and they'll definitely figure out which one is the truth. And I mean, I'm just going to say they got the meats. That's all. So,
And the corner of T'Challa and MLK sounds like where Dr. Umar has his school.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
It ain't never going to get built. Gambling them kids money.
I mean, the floor below me has been for rent for a while. I'm pretty sure he was there at some point, but I don't know where he is now. But before we actually get started, I have my icebreaker question that I normally ask to my first time guests. And I've learned from experience that it's actually better if I give that question to them before they actually get on the show. Because I had my wife on and she was like, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. So I had to answer for her. And I'm like, wow, this is difficult. Anyway, my question to you, both Rod and Karen, you can have separate answers or you can, combine we want the same thing. So, but the question is, Ben and Jerry has come to you. They are desperately needing a new flavor. So what do you give them and what do you name it?
All right, I have an idea, but Karen, you want to go first, or
You can go first.
all right? I'll go first and give stall for Karen to give more time to think. All right.
Yep.
So I would take like chocolate ice cream and brownies, like little pieces of brownie, and some chocolate syrup, and just all the chocolate chips.
Yes. Yes.
Just
Amen.
everything that's chocolate.
Amen.
And
Yes.
just put it, and then on the bottom of it, I put it all over, like just a little bit of vanilla, like just
Ooh.
like not even an inch of vanilla in the pint, and I would call it Black Supremacy.
Wow.
Feel like that would sell out.
Or something.
All right. I would have to get it just to support. I mean, not crazy about chocolate ice cream, but I will eat it. So but
that's why I'm really going more for the idea. I think people will take a lot of pictures on Instagram with it. A lot of,
So you're going for the shock factor.
Yeah.
Got it.
I mean, Ben and Jerry's is already pretty woke. I think they already got like a Black Lives Matter one and a Kaepernick one, but a Black Supremacy one feels like the next step, in that direct. Just like let's just go all out with it. So, that's what I do.
I love it. And you are describing me. I am that person that does take pictures of my Ben and Jerry's. Like I get the ones that support it, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, I got to try this one. And Kortney knows I had been on a hunt for Kaepernick's ice cream. Or I think it Change the World or something. I love the puns too, and it was actually really good. But once I found it, but I was so excited, I might have sent her a picture immediately, and then couldn't wait to get home to crack it open. And yes, but I would also get Black Supremacy. May not be in a rush to crack it open, but I would get it and send pictures. And yeah, sounds good.
You gotta be careful where you shop for Black Supremacy and stuff,
Yeah, you can't go find that everywhere.
No, I mean, I can already know the whitest Walmart won't have it, so I'll probably just skip
probably
that one.
Stand in front of it protesting. People probably would buy it up just to slam it and throw it in the ground.
Or probably be locked up in some freezer, like they do at some of the Black Walmarts that are around here. So,
wow.
Yeah. You kind of know which Walmart you're in when you try to go buy, like, I think it might have been deodorant or something, and it was in a cage. So, like, okay.
Yeah. I remember. I don't know if we talked about that, Sterling, or if I just saw it and I made a note to talk to you about it, and it didn't happen. But I remember seeing that and was like, what? What's happening? Why?
Nope. The closest Walmart to where we live is one that we decided, no, we're not going to go to this one. We're going to go to the other one where the white people shop. So, yeah. Because things, I can just grab what I need and I don't have to go find somebody. It's not cameras watching. Well, they're still watching me, but they're not watching me for that one item. So,
right.
Or you go to Target or Target as the Negroes like to call it. You have like a Walmart here. It doesn't look like a Walmart, and if you wasn't paying attention, you would literally pass by it. It's like built into the wall and into it, where like it comes out, and like you literally would not know it's a Walmart.
That's fancy.
It's real fancy. It's in the middle of nowhere.
That's Walter Martin's. I'm sorry, it's not Walmart. I used to work there. So that's when you buy the stuff that you don't necessarily want to tell people's from Walmart, you say it's from Walter Martin's. So
okay, I did not know that. I'm in like Walmart country. And I've never heard that. Maybe because I'm in Walmart country.
Oh, because I don't tell people, but that's
okay. Got it.
Just tell people you forgot where you got it from. I thought that was
just lie. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll lie.
Just lie.
Fine. It's just between us. I'll just yes. Do you have an ice cream, Karen, that you would like to submit to Ben and Jerry?
Yes, I was going to go one way, but I decided to go another way. I want a Beyonce ice cream, and I'm going to call it Beehive, and it's going to be made of honey and honeycomb and graham crackers.
Amen. Yeah, I think you're the first to mention Beyonce, so kudos to you for that.
Because she's my favorite. And if it wasn't going to be Beyonce, I was going to make a brand called, I want a brand called Just Fine, a Mary J. Blige brand. and I want the outside of it to be made of boots because they won't give that woman a boot brand. I want some boots, Mary J.
I don't know how practical the cost on the boots would be.
I don't know how practical
ice cream with boots cartons, but I feel like it would be a collector's item.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can draw them on the outside. I mean, I would be fine with that.
Yeah, it could just be like a logo or whatever, like a design, because they design each of their like flavors special, right? So it's nothing to add to boots, I would think. It's Ben & Jerry's. They can do it.
And did you say graham cracker was in it?
No, I don't. No. I hadn't thought about what was going to be in the Mary J. Blige. I was just calling it just fine. And so no matter what was in it, you were going to be just fine. No matter how you was feeling, you was going to eat it. And you was going to be like, today is a good day.
I really love the message behind that. I'm like, you know what? I don't care what's going on in the world. I'm gonna be just fine.
It won't even matter what is in it. It could be one of them flavors. You know how they be like, you drink it and you don't know what it's gonna be. It could be one of them. You open it up, you don't know what it's gonna be. You're gonna be just
a surprise.
It's a surprise. The variations.
Also, with it being Mary J. Blige, if you're gonna just eat a tub of it while you're crying, that fits right in.
That's why I say just fine. No matter what kind of mood you in.
By the time you finish, it'll be no more drama, except maybe what might be happening in your stomach.
No more drama.
No party up in this dancery.
Right. No more hateration either. So yeah, you won't find that in the ingredients list.
I mean, she should just have her whole brand. I mean, we just named 5 or 6 of her top songs. That could just be the brand of her ice cream or the name of her ice cream. Easy. That's easy.
Looking for a real flavor right there. So it's good.
and either one of them will move off the shelves. Like I said, we are underrepresented in market. I'm trying to tell you, I don't know why they don't get up with Beyonce because they do that. That's gonna sell.
Probably have to call around to find it, see what the 411 is.
I'm gonna send some tweets out. Like just give, just shoot my shot and see if they might be interested. Right. Never know. So I do have just a couple semi kind of interview questions. Now I was going to ask you how the two of you met, which I'm still going to ask you anyway, but I kind of already learned it. And I think it was your Saturday episode, which I got to say, they do give out awards and you are an award-winning podcaster, but that's definitely one for me in my books was like a great episode. It was just all over the place. It was balls to the wall, just great. And I did throw that little hint
like
in
us
there.
All over the place.
Yes. Because it was a great ad in there. That's why I kind of threw the whole balls to the wall part in there. So
yeah. The ad's been getting a lot of good feadback. I feel like nobody goes all in for their sponsors like we do.
Now, I'm gonna push it to a little PG-13ish, but I already have an idea for an album cover, and I'll put it in. I'll write you an email for your feedback. So just so you know, but I'm gonna give it to you now, and this is also a teaser. So do check out again their podcast, and I don't remember which episode it is, but and all the one mentioned, I think it was in yesterday's episode, and so it's imagery, and I'm going to move on, and we'll follow up with that later. In the meantime, I will ask, how did you start the Black Guy Who Tips podcast?
So I'm a big fan of this podcast called Keith and the Girl, and we're still fans. We've been listening. They've been going over 16, 17 years now. And they had an episode where somebody was being kind of a jerk, and they wrote in and said, anyone can do what you do. It's an hour a day. Like, get over yourselves or whatever. Like, some of us have real jobs and stuff like that.
Wow.
And I remember thinking, because they made a joke out of it and was like, well, if it's so easy, just do it. Like, okay. Like, that's really not the big joke you think it is. But I remember thinking like, oh yeah, people can do this. You don't need like someone to come down from on high. It's not the radio, right? Where you gotta get someone that works at the station to believe in you. Just start it, and if people like it, they'll listen. And so we started the show. I want to say we started the show right after I got laid off the first time, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Karen? Is that when we started the show the first time? No. Okay, so we started the show. Mm-hmm. So now I don't know what happened when the first time I got laid off. But
yeah, because I think the first time because we started the show in January, and
oh, you're right. I was definitely still working because Will was there. So we started the show and we went for a while and I got laid off. And
then we increased the days. That's what we did.
Yeah, that's what we did. We started recording just once or twice a week to like three to 5 times a week or something like that.
We went 3 times. We were going 3 times a week. And then the second time you got laid off, that's when we went to 5 times a week and we started the premium. And what's so funny, I've learned because of both times to get laid off. April is the time jobs lay off because both times he got laid off was at or around, I think, on my birthday. Yeah. So April is the time, right after the third quarter the first quarter ends. That's when they lay everybody off the first week.
And just for the record, I wasn't a bad employee. They was just laying everybody off.
They were just sweeping through the buildings.
I guess there's some solace in that. I think, if you got to take that long walk out, I'd rather do it in a group than by myself.
Right.
It's like, it's just you messed up. You gotta go. But it's like, they laid off X percentage of people. And I was like, I'm in the percent. Oh no. But that's kind of the origin story, which is just it was like, why not? And then I had the idea to do it with Karen, and I came to Karen and said, let's do this. And she was like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do it or what if I'm not good at it?
What if I suck?
You'll have to replace me. And I was
like, I'll be an executive producer.
Which is probably the reason the show's not called like Rod and Karen or something. Not that original. But it would have been called some variation of that probably because to me, I always saw it as both of us. But I had a blog called The Blackout Tips at the time. So we just called the show that. And then Karen, she's never not been on an episode of
right.
A couple thousand later.
I like it. I'm just a surprise because it's like when people hear The Blackout Who Tips, they assume it's going to be like a man or men show. And then they get this woman voice coming out of the background.
Well, it's great. I love I was going to say the chemistry obviously is there because the two of you are married and it's great. But how did you guys meet?
We've known each other for a long time. Me and Roger have actually known each other since elementary school. We went to the same elementary, same middle, same high school, and we went to the same college.
Wow.
Can't get rid of each other.
We can't. We started dating when we were 16. And I think me and Roger have known each other for a long time. I think we were friends for a very long time. We would like just called each other just randomly out the blue and just talk for hours on end and might not talk on the phone for a while and then we'd talk again. Every time we talked, it was like we never left. It's like the conversation would immediately pick right back up where we broke off. And when we were in high school, I would sit behind the bus driver because I would get picked up before he would get picked up. So I sat behind the bus driver and I wouldn't allow nobody else to sit beside me but him. I like box the seat out. Even the bus driver would be like, now y'all know y'all better not sit beside Karen. Roger go sit next to her. And we would sit directly behind the bus driver. And I tell everybody I talk. Like talking is my thing. Like if you have a kid and they talk, I was that child. You gonna get these words. I was that child. And Roger just allowed me to get him all the words. So I was like, oh, you gonna let me talk? Okay, cool.
Oh, that's great. That is a lovely story. And again, just teasing because it goes on further. I just love the way you guys told the story on that Saturday episode, and so much I love about that episode, and love all of your show. And I'm glad I started listening.
That's sweet. That's sweet. Roger gave a based on a true fact story because what really happened was that I had got some tickets to a play called, I think it was Beauty Shop 2. And me and Roger had been talking and stuff like that. When I was like, you know what? I told my mom, I said, I want to take Roger to play with me. She said, okay. So we ride down Roger's house. And, I go get his, talk to his mama go get him. He come back. And he tells me no. He tells me he don't want to go to play with me. So my poor feelings is crushed. My feelings is hurt. So I go back home all sad. And then I get a phone call later. So I'm like, yeah, I want to go with you. And I'm glad he said yes, because we end up having our first kiss. And I remember the play. The play was
Beauty Shop 2. And it was pre-Tyler Perry. So, but it followed the same format where, you had a light-skinned man called Trouble, the dark, like it fit all the tropes. Like it was beautiful. I had a ball. It's one of them things where, how Negroes get, we yell, we scream, we boo and all this stuff. Like we had a very, very good time. And come to find out, the reason why he ended up calling me back, because I didn't know at the time he was playing basketball. And so he had went back after he had told me no. And the dudes was like, why are you here with us? A girl just asked you out. Like, you rather hang around with us. Sweaty dudes. That's like, they told him to beat it. Made some good points. And
say points were made.
I was like, yeah, I should probably get the hell out of here. Well, I can do this any day. What was I thinking? So, thank God they were there to clown me.
Right. Made the right choice.
I was the aggressor.
Made the right choice. Something I missed, and we're going back to the ice cream briefly. And I know that you are a huge pumpkin spice fan.
Yes.
To the fact that you got the pumpkin spice latte, got the candles, the ice cream, the toothpaste, all of it. But like see,
and the beer is absolutely delicious.
I got beard oil, all of it. Stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Come on.
That's right.
Us and Trader Joe's are best friends. We have an annual tradition. I take the day off work and we go to Trader Joe's and we buy everything pumpkin. Everything pumpkin in the store goes in the basket.
I'm people.
See, I give in too. I'm not. I don't want to say wow, you're just rubbing it on. Just look at you, just glowing too.
He's glowing.
At this point, it's psychosomatic. You brought it up, and then I was like, you know what? I could be smelling like more like pumpkin.
Exactly.
That's great. It's going to add in a little bit more to why I'm upset. Not with pumpkin spice latte, because I get excited for pumpkin spice because of what comes after, what normally comes after, and I've got a bone to pick with Starbucks and Dunkin'. I don't know if there's too many Dunkin' Donuts that are down there. I know there's like only one where Kortney is. So
that's right.
Normally, got a few. Normally after pumpkin spice season, or sometimes it overlaps, is gingerbread season. And this year, they're like, hey, both Starbucks and Dunkin' were like, our flavors are back, our holiday flavors. And it's some like mocha peppermint chestnut on a roasted fire, and I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not happy about this. So
what are you looking for?
There's no gingerbread.
Delicious.
Wow.
And I'm upset about it. And I'm not sure if maybe they're just delaying it, waiting till December. I don't know, but
probably wait.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to wait till after Thanksgiving. And then bring it up for the Christmas time. But I hate to see you in limbo like that.
Mint and peppermint. This is the time they bring all that out.
Yeah,
I thank y'all for giving me hope, but like I feel like
so, man.
I hope so. I hope they was like, let's wait till after the turkey day and then we bust it out.
I don't know why they don't mix them. They should have like pumpkin spice gingerbread, man. I bet that should be delicious.
I don't even know
cookies. I wouldn't know how to act and put some frosting on it, some vanilla frosting.
I'll try anything once with pumpkin spice in it.
Me too.
Because it's not like every time it's good, because every once in a while they strike out. You're like, oh, y'all flew too close to the sun on this one.
Yeah.
Right.
But I would try. I'm intrigued by the idea of pumpkin spice gingerbread as an idea, just to try it and see, like, because it could be hitting or it could be like, never mind, go back.
I'd try it because, like, at first I'm just like, no. Cancel it, rebuke it. No, that sounds terrible. But you make a point. I've never actually mixed the two flavors together. So who's to say that it's not a hit?
That's how I got in. That's how I got on the pumpkin spice. I used to be, because the internet was picking on it, and they made it sound like it was basic and it was only for white women
White
that
girls,
wore
yeah.
Uggs and all this stuff.
And the hats and the scarves and stuff.
Right.
Christian white girls.
Right.
Right,
And
right.
I tried some pumpkin spice one time. I think I had a pumpkin spice latte, and I was like, "Oh, this is delicious. What?
Yes.
What else have y'all been lying to me about?" And then I went and got some Uggs. I got an infinity scarf. I mean, those things are comfortable, man.
It ain't been the same since. And this year, him and all the Beckets was in the line. The very first day that Starbucks put it on sale, he put on his Uggs and went out there, and him and all the white women was like, "Hey, it's pumpkin spice time. You promised Starbucks."
Community. Yeah.
See, I think that's what problem with gingerbread people like myself, because we don't have a wardrobe. We don't have like that kind of unity other than, maybe just wearing frosting, like, whatever they draw on their chest. The gingerbread people, I mean. So.
Oh, yeah. The buttons and with the little.
Right, with the gumdrop buttons. Right.
Yeah, gumdrop.
Yeah, gumdrop buttons. Yes, not those. I don't have any of those. However, I did see at the store today, which I almost bought because I'm using the kid as an excuse, but I wanted them. Gingerbread like ninjas. And they're all in like fighting stances, and like one's in the middle of a kick. So.
Okay, that's pretty BA. I mean,
yeah. So I might have to go back and pick up a couple boxes for him. So
of course.
Right. And for him. The other flavor, and we're going to move on after that. The other flavor that I have an issue with being a holiday flavor, a seasonal thing, is sugar cookie. Why is that a seasonal thing? Like sugar cookies, you can eat them year round, but why is it only around Christmas time?
Which kind of sugar cookie? The ones that come in a tin, or the general sugar cookie, the yellow one?
It's just a general yellow sugar cookie, because I mean, again, you'll sometimes see them like creamers in the store, and they usually only have
and it's just like a Christmassy, wintry thing.
Right.
Probably because it's coated white.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was season. I didn't even think of it as season. I thought you could just always get those.
Me too.
No.
Well, in branding, it is more. It tends to have its spotlight in the winter, Christmassy type season. But I think you're right. I don't know why though.
Like I do associate, and I don't know. I didn't realize this until you just said it, but in my mind, I've associated the ones that come in the tin. You know what ones I'm talking
Christmas.
about? The tin that always ends up being like a sewing kid or your change or something like that thing. I do associate with Christmas, and I never thought about it until you just said it.
Well, those they sell year round. You're talking about the Danish cookies that say like Danks.
In my mind, I think it's from so many years in corporate America.
Yes, you only get them around.
That was when all the clients would send in the cookies in the tins. Like, these are the Christmas. Christmas is here, But I didn't even think about it till now.
Yeah, the old general manager at the radio station I work at, he used to give us a tin or two. Like if there was any left over, you're free to take them, which I would. And because I mean,
free cookies.
Free cookies. I mean,
free cookies.
And they're such weird cookies because I don't know that anyone thinks they're good, but they're not bad. You know what I mean?
But
like they just exist. Like I've never had a hankering for a tin of cookies. Like I've never been like put a tin of cookies on the list for the grocery store.
Yeah. But you still have to.
I'm that person. Now you know one person. I am that person.
All right. I had never, literally had never thought of it that way.
It was one of those.
I think a cookie, there's always like something above that I'm like.
I mean,
they got chocolate chip, and now I'm like chocolate chip.
Don't get me wrong. When I got a hankering for cookies, I have a list like what kind of cookie do I want, and sometimes it's that type of cookie because there's that tin of cookie has its variety of cookies.
It does. It does.
So very specific. That's the other thing is because it has a variety. I might get a hankering for like one type of the 12 cookies in there,
right?
But then it's like 4 cookies in, you're like, oh, I gotta switch it up
and you can't find it. My thing is, you can't really find it. Isn't it kind of like a box of chocolates where it'll have like a picture of the cookie and like what it tastes like? But I never remember which one is my favorite until I taste it. So
and I always end up. What always closes the party up for me is I'm eating cookies, and then it's basically cookie Russian roulette because I always get that one cookie that's got the raisins in it, and that's when I'm like, party's over. That's enough cookies for the day.
I didn't know that was one of them.
There's always this one that just because it's not even like the good soft cinnamon, right? It's like it looked just like the chocolate chip, and it's just like it always party over.
Yeah, no.
I'm really telling on myself because I've been through many different brands. Some of them, yes, some of them do have those crazy raisins, and they're like, why is this part of a cookie? This is not allowed. Like if I wanted like raisin cookies, I would get that. And usually it's oatmeal cookies. But I mean, that's a whole debate. And that was actually one of my former podcasts where we had a discussion about raisin cookies. So that's another story. Oatmeal raisin cookies. I'm sorry. But
which are delicious. If you're,
I don't have a problem with
it.
Right,
they are.
If they're made right, and if you have culture, but you know, not everybody can do oatmeal raisin cookies, and that those tin can people, they need to not do that.
Like I feel like
you've eaten dust.
Right. I think someone had like a barrel of like raisins that fell over, and then oops, they fell in, and they just let it keep going.
Put it in the cookies.
Yeah, just let it go. It's fine.
I feel like raisins and cookies requires consent. You know what I mean? Like I need to know ahead of time too. Like because
sign this form.
Whenever I bring up oatmeal raisin cookies, people do kind of like flinch up, and it's only because everyone's had that experience of thinking they were getting like chocolate chip or something, and it was oatmeal raisin, and then all the oatmeal raisin people in the world get mad. They're like, no, why are you saying these are delicious cookies? Like, but I just need to know. I just need to consent to the process before. Yeah,
I don't like to be shocked, no surprise,
and then we're fine.
Yeah, it's got my mouth tuned up and bite into it into something else. It's like pumpkin and sweet potato. You got to move for one, and you buy. I had to learn. I finally asked my mom. I had to learn. I was like, "What's the difference?" I said, "Because they don't taste the same, but they both orange."
Yes, yes, very different.
Hopefully, the cashiers will start having like a checklist. Like, are you sure there's raisins in this cookie? So at least you know what you're getting.
There should be a warning label on the tin, like include some raisin cookies.
Right. But yeah, just had to get those things off my chest. I don't have too many grievances, and these are the things that that do keep me up at night.
Grievances.
Well, it's a light week, you know. There's a lot of heavy stuff happening, and if that's your grievances, man, that just means life's going well.
I mean, that's my purpose for this podcast is just to lighten people's load. Like, unload your burdens. Here, have some of mine, and they happen to be cookies that have secret raisins in them that we don't want. So. But we're going to move on. I think we'll just go ahead and, we'll do our Black History fact, which I'm cheating a little bit. It's not really like a fact per se. It's going to be more of a recommendation, if you will, because I just discovered it. I'm like, oh, wow, look at the, I'm looking for my sound effects because I've got sound effects too.
Black History.
Black History.
Black History. Black History. Facts.
All right. So our Black History fact today is actually, like I said, a recommendation for the podcast called The Bridge, which is hosted by Nas and Miss Info. I'm putting that as our Black History fact because just hearing them have conversations with various rappers throughout the 50-year history of hip hop, which makes me feel old. I'm not anywhere close to 50, but still just the fact that it's been around for that long. But the history that has been shared so far in, I think, the 3 episodes is just hearing it from Nas and Miss Info, who's been around, I was going to say journalizing, that's not a word, but being a journalist in pop culture for so many years and talking to Ice Cube and Corday. And I'm not sure if it was actually Nas's brother, but that was in the first episode. But hearing them discuss how they got into the industry and just how it influenced their lives. It's just, I don't know. I love it. And plus I love history in general, but I'm just really enjoying it. So I highly recommend checking that out. I think it might be a Spotify exclusive. I don't know. It's all I listen to. And once again, got to say, I found the Black Guy Who Tips before they were exclusive to Spotify for a bit. So once you guys switch over there, I'm like, oh, fine with me. That's fine. Cause I'm already on Spotify, but then now you're back to everybody, so they can be found everywhere. Not so sure about the bridge though, but that is my.
That's cool, man. It's been interesting watching some of our hip hop like elder statesmen, get older and then just go into these other lanes and talk about their history and open up as people and make emotional albums and stuff. It's been a cool thing to see. It's not something I ever thought I'd see when I was a kid, and not something I ever associated hip hop with. And being that so much of it was black dudes, it was like feelings. You know, we ain't talking about feelings. Let's just lie about selling drugs and having sex with everybody.
Right. And now they're like,
now they're all old and being like
therapy and kids.
That was when
my wife.
When my daughter went to college and made me think about blah blah blah. I'm like, man, we all getting old. But hey, compared to when I was a kid, I didn't know that these dudes could get old. I thought they'd all be dead. So
right.
Good.
Yeah, that's true.
And I gotta say, Nas is a great host because he's already got that just raspy voice. Like even before I even started really listening to his music, you just knew that he saw some stuff back in the day. You just hear that in his voice, and he's just the perfect person to deliver that and just converse with other hip hop artists. So it was like an instant subscribe for me, and I love it. So that is your history fact for today, which I get again is more of a podcast, but
nice. Thank you.
No problem. Moving right along because I realized oh, wait, I didn't have a word watch for today. I didn't even find a word. But we're going to move on. We're going to go ahead to our Florida or Floridon't game and lost my soundboard again. Now it's time for Florida, Floridon't. I don't have any words for that jingle yet, but yes, it's there. And
very catchy.
I know.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, but this is my second time using it, so it's still new.
Cool.
Still new.
I like it.
Thanks. So the point of this game, and all three of you will get to choose or guess if this story or the person in the story is from Florida or not.
Yay!
So it is a little bit kind of inspired by Guess the Race, which is from your show. So, and I will read the headline and you'll guess. First one is police remove about 80 ducks, geese, chickens, and turkeys from inside this home. Is this a Florida or not?
I'm going not.
I'm gonna say not. It's a Floridon't.
Okay.
Yeah, I will join. I will join my fellow contestants in saying no.
You all got that one correct. Good job.
Woohoo! Don't have turkeys in Florida. Maybe they do. I don't know.
That is actually here in Connecticut that happened. I caught that story on the news just before I fell asleep. I'm like, ooh, that's a good one. And I went to sleep. So I had to remember that one. And we'll go to the next one. And I don't have a booze or applause for mine, but it's okay.
We're applauding because we all want.
You can feel it inside.
Right. You can feel it inside.
It's in our hearts.
Man dressed as Joker injures 17 on this train.
It's a Florida.
I'm going to say.
Wait, a train though? Yeah, I'd switch it to Floridon't. I don't know about trains in Florida.
Trains in Florida? I don't think there's trains in Florida.
I don't think so either.
I know the subway system ain't good in Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, ain't no subways in Florida.
Unless it's like an above ground train, but then like, what the hell are you doing on an above ground train?
On an above, like, what are you doing with your life? But
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with no.
Yeah, me too.
Good job, all three of you. Correct. It's not a Florida. In fact, this is another story that I had found, and then all of a sudden it ended up on your show for, I don't remember which segment it was in, but I'm like, stealing my stories again, but it's okay. It's all good.
I'm so sorry.
I feel like
I didn't know that was yours.
It's fine. It's fine. I didn't put my claims in it and this one's mine, but I'll try to make it louder next time. Next story, 3 dead, hundreds injured after scorpion swarm.
Are there scorpions in Florida?
Yes. I gotta go no. It's not. Floridon't.
So I'll say Pensacola is pretty close to Texas, but
pretty close to where?
Scorpions
Texas.
feel like Midwest, west of me, like Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Texas.
Yeah, because Florida is like alligators,
Like I feel like that's dry,
and
accurate.
crocodiles.
Maybe Australia. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
the
Definitely
swampy
Australia.
Floridian land. I feel like there's that's marshland.
Marshland. So you
Yeah,
all
I'm
of you
gonna-
are a no on that one too?
I'm gonna say a no. It's a Floridon't.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. That took place in Egypt. So yes, you're all
Okay,
correct.
all right. Not even America.
Exactly.
So not even
Not
America,
Florida.
right? All right, we're going to go to story number 4. Pastor tackles man after he pulls out gun during church service.
Ooh, I remember
I'm
the
gonna say
story.
Florida, yay.
That does feel like a Florida story.
Oh, I can't remember. I remember the story, and I can't remember where it was. I don't think it was
A
Florida.
gun
though.
in a church could be
It was a
anywhere
gun
in
in a
America.
That's
Mhm.
true.
Right.
That's the sad part. That's the sad
Yeah.
part.
But the pastor tackling them feels like a Florida only thing.
Yes. You know, Florida
See,
got to be extra.
I'm going Florida. I'm not gonna think about it anymore. There you go.
Yeah, I
I'm
just
gonna
went my
say-
first instinct. I'm gonna say yay.
I'm gonna say no. Floridon't.
Kortney got that one correct.
Oh,
Was
That's
it
why
so she's the
Georgia?
pro. She's been playing longer than us. Makes sense.
Where did this happen at?
That took place in
Georgia?
Nashville.
Tennessee.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
Mhm.
that
I knew
makes
it
sense
was.
too.
Yeah. See, it's sort of south. So
I always
Mhm.
say Nashville's the Florida of Tennessee.
It is.
I would agree with you on that one.
Right, I got another one here. Another one. Man says wind blew cocaine into his car.
I'm gonna go Florida,
Florida, yeah.
yay.
Yeah, Florida.
Mhm.
Cocaine,
Florida.
that's a
Yes.
Florida thing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Miami,
and enough
probably.
of it to you to say that the wind blew it in, that it feels Florida to me.
That is
Probably
Florida.
in
Yes.
Miami.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool.
It-
Awesome.
Was it
Florida.
in Miami?
That
And
was
before anybody writes in with a correction, I know Memphis is the Florida of Tennessee, but it was a funny joke to say it was Nashville. Please don't write in to this nice podcast and correct them, okay? My
Thank
fault.
you. Thank you. And no, it was not Florida. It was Fort Pierce, which I don't know where that is, but it's probably outside Miami. So yeah, it's close enough.
But it was Florida.
Oh, it's Florida,
Okay.
but not
Oh
Miami.
yeah, it is. Yeah, not
but
Miami.
not Miami. Well,
Right.
I'll take close to Miami. So
Wow. Did he win in court? Did that work?
Probably so. They
I
probably
don't
had
think so.
bricks just
Surely
sitting
not.
everywhere.
Well, when cops asked about the white residue inside the can that was discovered that he was trying to hide when he got pulled over,
Sure.
eventually he tested positive for crack cocaine. He told them the police or the wind must have placed it there.
Oh wow.
Mm-mm.
Bless his heart. Did it work?
Mhm.
I just want to know what happened. What's the outcome to this one? I don't
what
think it would have
happened
worked.
there? I don't
but
know.
I like that
I'll
he
look
gave
it up.
him the out of like y'all put it there or it's the win.
The win.
Like,
Right,
I'm not
right.
saying y'all corrupt per se.
Mm-mm.
hmm I mean, he didn't say anything about the crack pipe that was also found on his person,
Mm.
but
Oh,
He's like, now
That's
that was
important.
that's mine.
right, yeah.
I claim that one.
I've already owned this one, but the crack was not mine. Let's see. Okay, yes. This one, well, it starts with a quote, which I'll somewhat censor. B, don't fix my food. Woman arrested pulling a gun at Popeye's drive-thru.
Oh, that could be anywhere.
That's anywhere they got
that's like probably
Popeyes.
Arkansas. That's
That could
like
be
Texas,
DC. That could-
Arkansas.
Right.
Popeyes locations are only at places where people do stuff like that.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh man, this is tough.
I'm gonna go no.
No?
Yeah,
I
I'm
agree.
gonna go no.
Yeah, it's a no for me. It's a no for me, dog.
This one is Florida.
What?
Uh-huh.
Oh
You
no.
know, that's not our fault.
You're right.
Right, 'cause that
You
can
know
happen
you lose
anywhere.
some.
If you would have told
it
me that
really
was up the
could.
street of Nations Ford Road, I'd be like,
Like,
yeah, they do.
That sound about right.
That is what they
Yeah.
got guns and Popeyes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Now I think I got one more.
Okay. I like this game.
Bald eagle swoops in and steals a man's shark.
Shark?
If you need a little bit more backstory, this guy was fishing. and he caught something, and he's trying to reel in what he thought was a giant fish and ended up being a shark. And then an eagle came in and swooped and stole it.
Florida.
But an eagle, though?
An eagle, a bald eagle.
I'm going to say no.
It's down there for freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And
He tried to keep them as pets.
to tell people not to wear masks.
That's my
Probably
freedom.
salute everybody.
Calling
Oh,
it
man.
Patriots,
Wings.
When they
you know.
pulled off with the shark, you can hear "I'm proud to be American" playing in the background.
See a flag flapping in behind there too.
in slow motion.
Mhm.
I'm going to say no. No.
Kortney saying no. Rod saying yes.
And
Karen, what are you saying?
I am going to say yes.
All right, and that is a Florida story.
Yes.
Oh, no.
I secretly wanted to tie Kortney. I was nervous. She got the lead on us.
She did.
That was a little gamesmanship on my part. I need to go the opposite
You
way.
won. Congrats,
Well,
I
you guys
guess.
are all tied. So I see I got one more.
No. Let's just be tied.
No,
and
one
be
more.
friends.
Oh,
We got
okay.
to break the tie. No, we got to
Oh
break
no!
the tie.
See, Kortney's competitive.
It's
Oh,
on
no.
now.
I don't think I have any more. Nope, I read that one. I ran
You
through
mean
all
if
the
I-
stories.
You want me to find one real quick?
Oh no, I can
Wait,
find
if
one
you
more.
find one, you'll know the answer.
Right,
Oh.
right.
I would be honest.
I gotta go to my news source real fast and see
Okay.
if I can pull out one more.
The Jeopardy music is playing now.
Oh, right.
And Aaron Rodgers is saying, hosting, and he's saying, "I'm immunized." Yes. What is immunized?
No. Mm-mm. Everybody plays here.
Wear your mask.
Right.
Yeah. How was he going to host with no mask? That was
was
always a
host-
pipe dream.
He was hosted with no mask.
They weren't going to let him host after the vaccines came out.
Mm-mm.
So this last story I found, because it's under like strange news.
Okay.
And there's going to be a location involved. So just bear. This is the bonus round. Winner takes all.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
a woman caught trying to enter Canada with 50 guns in her car. I guess got arrested. But
Sure. As
Sure.
you do.
But where is she from? Is she from Florida or not?
50 guns.
Definite. That could be
I'm
anywhere in the
gonna go
South.
No.
Below the Basin Dixon line. But 50 guns?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a lot. That's like Southern a lot.
That's
Like Florida. I'm
that's
gonna
like
say
Texas level of guns.
yeah.
I'm gonna go no. I'm gonna say
I'm
not
going
from
no.
Florida.
Mm-mm.
Kortney, you still look a little.
I'm talking to my ancestors because they would know. But
That's why them guns have more rights than people states.
I don't know why.
yeah.
I don't know why 50 feels like Texas, but if you would have said like 49,
But
I
it's
would have been
that's
like, yeah, that's
different.
Florida right there.
A matter of fact, in a
50 feel
different
like, let's go for all the stars.
in a
Right.
different article, I thought it said 52.
Gee, yeah, that feels. I'm going Texas.
That's-
I'm going Texas. Final answer. That's
Okay. Yeah, it's a Florida don't for me as well. I don't know where she's from, but not Florida.
See, now I'm trying to see if I can find that other article. But Kortney, I thought you were going to have it. I thought you were.
No!
Because she was from Florida.
No.
Whoa.
But I bet she was born in Texas though. That's different.
Right. Did she
She was-
drive from Florida with 50 guns and never got pulled over or nothing? Wow.
That apparently so, and I mean that's a question they
all
asked
the way
you.
up 95. You serious?
What was the plan if when she got
do
to the
want- yeah,
border
what was-
station?
She thought they weren't gonna check.
Right?
That's why I'm trying to find the article now, because that one was more detailed. The one that I had the first time.
Them nice
then-
people came out there with maple syrup and she come with guns. They was like, ma'am, you will not cross this border.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a Wendy's in Canada.
Right?
You got a lot of guns back there, eh?
That's exactly what they told her. You got to turn this car around, ma'am.
56 Glock handguns
Oh my
56,
God, was she
that's
gonna
even
sell 'em?
worse.
in her trunk.
She must have had them to
Why?
sell or something.
Did she
Something
steal
in that-
them?
Right. It
How
makes
did
no
she even-
sense.
On November 1st, the 48-year-old woman reached the Canadian side of the St. Clair River, where Canada Border Service Agency officers referred her to secondary inspection. Inside boxes stacked in the trunk of her vehicle, officers allegedly found 56 subcompact, compact, and full polymer frame Glock handguns, 13 magazines of a prohibited capacity above 10 rounds, 43 10-round magazines, and ammunition.
Yeah, see, they don't play. They ain't like America. They like you know what we limit the amount of bullets you can spray.
She was gonna give those as Christmas presents or something.
Is that it?
Yeah. I think she did have the intent to sell because they could sell between 3,000 and 5,000 on the street.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
because that amount that's a large amount.
A lot of people were getting guns for Boxing Day.
Mm. Ooh, what an unboxing! That's wow.
Boxing Day would have been
wow.
Gloxing Day.
A Gloxing Day, yes.
Oh wow, what a great day. So yeah, that is Floridon't, and you all tied.
So I won. Oh,
I'm sorry.
I like the tie, cool. And then we can always come back and try to break it another time.
Mm-hmm. Right. Cool. I'll just go back into my story bank, I suppose, and find some more, because some of them I had pulled from like months ago, so they weren't even like recent, but most of them usually are, because I'm still somewhat of a news junkie, so I sometimes still kind of like, ooh, that's a good story, let me hang on to that one. And since we record like every other week, I have to hold on to it for like 2 weeks, and sometimes I might accidentally blab it to her. I'm like, hey, did you hear about this thing in Florida? Oh wait, never mind. So,
it hasn't happened yet, so
right, because I'm pretty good about it. I'm just trying to keep it to myself, so gotta keep some secrets. So now that we have done that, we're just going to start to wrap it up. And our next thing is talking about recommendations. So I will start with you, Rod. If there's anything you want to recommend for anybody to either read or watch or listen to, things of that nature.
Oh man, where to begin, right? I'm enjoying so many things, but I think I'll just settle on, I'm reading this book called Unwinding Anxiety by Judson Brewer. And I like it a lot. It's teaching me about like how your brain works with anxiety and forming habits and survival, and trying to teach like how to fill in those habit loops and behavior loops with like positive things. And I like his science, as he called it, he scienced the shit out of it. I like his science approach to these common everyday things that your body kind of and your mind goes into just cruise control, and you just look up and you're like, oh man, I'm doing this thing again. How, what is that? Why is that? And I like it so far. So I'd recommend that to people.
And what was that book again? Because I
Unwinding Anxiety by Judson Brewer.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Karen, you have anything you want to recommend?
Yes, I actually started. I'm an audiobook person because audiobooks remind me of podcasts. So I do a lot of audiobooks, and the 1619 project just came out, and I had I get the credit. So I forgot that I had credited it as soon as there was like pre-order. So I just went ahead and pre-ordered the credit like months ago. And so when it came out, it popped up. I was like, oh, let's get on it. And I think it came out like yesterday or today. Like it's really, really new. And so as somebody who, I know it was a podcast, I didn't listen to the podcast. So for me, this book is like a brand new introduction, to me. And so I think for me, it's a confirmation of things that I already knew, and I'm learning things that I did not know, because the school system, particularly in the South, but all across the country, lets Black people down. And so when Roderick was, younger, his parents, put before the Mayflower and all these things in his hands. So, Roderick was kind of like the woke kid, type of thing. And I was like the complete opposite. So I didn't learn about like Tulsa and some of these other things until I was like a full-fledged adult, even out of college. And so for me, at first I would beat myself up like something was wrong with me, but then I had to remind myself that it's not my fault. I don't know. It is the system that's, the educational system that's designed. So I began to not beat myself up for not knowing, you know what I'm saying? And so for me now, I kind of want to know. So I go learn things and read things and pick things up. And when Roger does the Reading Rainbow and things like that, it educates me into things, because what I realized a lot of times people see things, they observe things, but I've realized that they don't have the words for them and they can't explain it. They just know it ain't right. And so once you become educated, you begin to say, oh, this is why the House does this. This is why the Senate does this. This is why, like, you can begin to piece these things together, and everybody won't act like everything is brand new. And everybody won't act like a lot of the tactics are brand new. These tactics are not brand new. They've actually been around for a very, very long time. And once you know that, you can prepare yourself. Not that you won't be shocked, surprised, sad, not that you won't have these emotions, but you kind of prepare yourself better for the long haul and the fight. And I think that's why a lot of times I've realized a lot of people have a tendency to give up. A lot of people have a tendency, it takes too long. And they do this because they don't know that, people have been fighting for generations, and we're not the first and probably won't be the last. And so the 1619 Project is something great as far as like educating myself.
Wow.
I love that. Yeah.
I will definitely add that to my list as well. Because dealing with a lot of people with anxiety, but also, because I'm going back to the Unwind Anxiety one, definitely want to read that one, but also just the 1619 Project, and been hearing about that for like the last couple of months for sure.
Right.
But I definitely want to learn what the system never taught me, because I want to teach it to my kid. So I don't know what they're going to teach him, but I'm going to make sure that he knows what I didn't get a chance to learn until much later.
And the truth.
Right. The truth.
Right. And also you need to know things, because particularly if you're on any social media, you're just talking to people in general. You can talk to them with the confidence that you know, versus when they start quoting stuff to you, if you don't really know, you're like, that sounds right. And they might not actually be speaking facts. They might be speaking of hearsay or what they heard. But if you know these things are fact, you can be like, nah, you can educate them and actually send them in the right direction. You might not know all the answers, but you would know enough to kind of lead them in the right direction so that they can learn. Because what I've learned about particularly Black history, no matter if you are Black, your history is a Black history experience. And so I think that for me, when it comes to these things, it's about learning, like you said, teaching your kids, your grandkids, your family members, and teaching people the importance of like voting and all these things, because me and Roger talked about this on our show. People have a tendency to get offended when you be like, people died for our right to vote. They were like, nah, they died for our choice. No, they died for your right to vote. Go back and read the words that came out of their mouths. They didn't die for the option for you to not vote. They died for the right for you to vote.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that recommendation, because I definitely want to check it out, and I'll probably get the audiobook too, because I have a few credits I haven't used yet. So yeah, so I'll definitely get that. And matter of fact, I'll probably even get back to you, like, where are you in the book? So yeah. And Kortney, would you like to recommend?
So I have two recommendations, but I'll be real quick. One of them I believe I've already recommended, and it's can't remember the name. Therapy for Black Girls. Is that what it's called? Let me hold on. Let me pull up. Therapy for Black Girls. Yeah.
That's
so
really
I
good.
love, it's awesome. And because of just the recent events with various just events and trials and verdicts and things coming out, I believe her name is Joy Harden Bradford is the host. She's Dr. Joy Harden Bradford. And she will oftentimes, say, this is for you if you have any anxiety that you're dealing with, or, news is hard. The world is kind of tough right now, more than normal. If you need to kind of uplift yourself, listen to this and come back to it as many times as you need to. She recently did one, and it was just perfect. But many of her episodes are very spot on, and they are relevant, and they are helpful. I find them very helpful, and I'm just a big believer in therapy. So I definitely suggest that. I definitely suggest actual therapy with an actual licensed therapist. But this podcast is a good, I don't want to say a good alternative to actual therapy, no, but it is just a good, helpful podcast for the in-between session times. My second recommendation would be the movie Dune.
Oh, I just saw that. I liked it.
So I mostly liked it, but my partner Daniel is a sci-fi head, and he apparently is a Dune head, and I did not know this until the movie came out, but he was giving me all the information that the movie didn't cover. And I mean, it took us a while to watch it, because not only is it like a really long movie, which I'm all for, but it was a long movie, and we didn't start watching it until closer to bedtime, which is just never a good idea, especially for me when I go to bed like in an hour probably. But it took us a little while to watch it, but every time we would kind of stop because we fell asleep on it, he'd be like, yeah, normally in the book, it covered such and such. And we'll see if it covers it in the movie, but we're like an hour in and I don't know. And so sure enough, many of the things that's covered in the book series wasn't covered in the movie. And I don't know if that's just a Hollywood thing of trying to get us to tune into the next few sequels that it has planned, probably. But it was a good introduction into the world, because the world of Dune is so rich and so detailed and so unique. And prior to watching the 2021 version of Dune, I only knew it as desert and big old sandworms, but there's so much more. So I definitely enjoyed it. I felt like it was missing a whole lot. And so now I have purchased the first two books of the Dune series. And so I'm really excited to jump into them, and I'll maybe recommend them if I like them. We'll see.
I knew you were going to do that too.
When I found out it was 6 books, it was like no movie could ever get this. And then the thing, I think it's going to either be a 2 parts or 3 parts, which obviously makes a lot of sense knowing all that material they have to pull from. But I didn't know that going in. And I really wish they had led with that, because it says part 1 before, like it's just like part 1. And I thought they meant like act 1. And then like 40 minutes in, we get a part 2. You know how they do that in movies?
I don't even. Okay. Did they do that in the movie? Oh, they never said it, right? Okay.
No, they never said part 2. It just ends, and you're like, that was all part 1? Oh my God, how big is the story? Because I didn't read the books.
Well, it's a huge story, apparently. And I mean, but just the things that Daniel informed me that was missing from the movie, I'm like, yeah, they could have maybe hinted at it, or maybe because I felt that the movie was very well done and the visuals were amazing. I wish I would have seen it in actual theaters and not just like, I mean, I have a pretty decent sized TV, but it's not like a, movie theater.
You want to hear the sand like in your face.
I need to like hear it like, all in my eardrum. Right. But I mean, it was visually amazing. The story was still amazing, but just what he filled me in on that wasn't there. Even like the main villain, apparently he has a whole lot more that's discovered or explored in the books that you just don't really, you get that he's a bad dude in the movie, but in the books, apparently there's just a lot more. So listen, I'm a huge reader. And so I'm always probably going to side with the books and the original authors, just because movies don't often adapt well. They don't often adapt the book to screen very well. So I understand that we're talking about cross platforms and things like that, but I don't know. Still, I just feel like some stuff could have been better represented. I'm still along for the ride. I still loved it. And I just have to respect them as 2 separate like mediums, and
which is smart. Because
I have to.
Our logic is this: if it's going to turn to a movie, we just quit reading it.
Well, I'm glad I saw the movie first. I've learned that seeing the movie first is better, and then going back to read the book is good for me mentally and personally. So because I'm always disappointed if I read the book first every time. So
yeah, my preference is just to watch the movie and never read the book, you know, because like, why set myself up for past disappointment? Because that's all I'm gonna do is be like, why didn't they do it this way? I still haven't read Game of Thrones, and I don't think I ever will. Like that's close enough. Y'all didn't land it couldn't land it in 7 seasons, then you can't land it in 17 books, and the last book don't exist. So whatever.
Come on, that's different. That's a complete. We'll talk about that later. That's completely different, though.
Well, George got to finish that book.
Yeah, that's what everybody complained about that last. I
honestly, as a person that's not a book reader, I mean, I don't really wish any ill on anybody, but I honestly think it would be the funniest thing in the world if that last book was trash. It would be the funniest. It would be so good. Don't do it. You know, I hope he writes a good book, but man, the laugh, I would laugh for days. Honestly, I would laugh for days if that book was terrible.
Yeah, and nothing personal, but a lot of the Game of Thrones fans turned me off against reading the book because they was most obnoxious people, and they act like if you didn't read that book, you was illiterate. Get out my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, fans like that could be the worst and like just turn me off from the whole thing. Like, never mind, I'm not into it.
I'm just here to watch the show.
Right. I mean, they say that about Star Wars fans too. Like, they're the worst fans ever. So I just
they are. I'm a Star Wars fan, but yeah, they're the worst.
Yeah.
I'm not a Star Wars fan, and I'm sick of the slander. Okay. I'm just I'm sick of it.
I don't know what happened. That fan base. I don't know what happened. It's just like every incel it was just like, I like Star Wars now. It's like, no, get away. This is the opposite of this.
We just want to enjoy this.
My wife is a Star Wars fan, so I watch it with her, and I like it too. I don't consider myself a fan. I just know enough of the characters that I can like, oh, that's that dude. Okay, gotcha.
It's so big. It's like everyone becomes a fan, you know.
Right.
Like if you want to be or if you don't, you know, if I walk into a room and go, Luke, I am your father or something, people will be like, oh yeah, that's from that movie. I know that movie.
I'm that person. I'm the casual fan because, you know, Roger watches a lot of things and sometimes I just skip and I'm like, I don't got to know and I'm not worried about knowing.
You're not a casual fan either, Karen, because I'm just a super fan. But you watch all this other cartoons and you watched The Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2.
Come on.
That's just how Star Wars is. It's everywhere.
It's going to get you. So yeah, it's going to get you. My recommendation, was that a recommendation? Now I know I mentioned, or not mentioned, I wrote it down earlier. I was supposed to talk about Adele and her new album 30.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
It's amazing.
So good.
It's amazing. And I had told Kortney before she started listening to it, it's like, I wanted to tweet this, but I feel like the Beehive would attack me because of what I'm about to say. And I feel like this is her version of Lemonade. But like,
I've heard people say that. Like I said, I haven't really sat down because you have to kind of be in a mood for Adele. You know, it's like you have to be like, okay, I am ready. Not trying to be funny to step in whatever emotions that you're getting ready to emote upon me. Like you kind of have to be in the right space to consume her music.
Right.
And so it's one of those things where I've heard that several different times. And like I said, I don't have a problem with that. You know, with people saying that. As somebody who is a big Beyonce fan, it makes sense because you're actually giving Beyonce credit. You were like, when Beyonce wrote this was something that you was like, she put her foot in this, and you go, okay, this is something where you can tell that she's grown and she's experienced some stuff and she's sharing stuff with you. And she's been doing interviews and stuff. I've been seeing the interviews, and Adele was like, look, I'm not making music for people that ain't been through nothing. I'm making music for people that talking about therapy and all this stuff. And and this music out there for the kids. This music ain't for the kids. I was like, right. Everything
I love her.
All music isn't meant for every genre and every age. Right, and it's okay to know your market.
Right. Agreed. And
I mean, I didn't go through what she went through, but I love it. Like I was feeling it with her. Like who do I got to fight? Like, I'm not a fighter, but still I will, you know, what does it take? But I think one of my favorite songs on there is Can I Get It? And to which I would respond, yes, ma'am. So I love that song. So it is a pop. I'll just say that. But I mean, the whole thing is great. Like, I don't think there's too many songs I would skip. I don't think I would skip any of them, but and she actually asked Spotify not to have the shuffle button on there, which I thought was great.
So glad.
Really? I didn't know that.
did not realize, because what was happening is that when I would listen to Spotify, I realized that I know it's some albums where the sequence, and I like to listen in order. And every time I would get on, I would take the shuffle off automatically.
You're right.
And just circle all the songs. But it makes no sense. She brought up a good point. If I'm making an album, particularly if you're hearing it for the first time, I wrote it in a particular order. Mm-hmm. You taking it out of the order almost defeats the experience for the person listening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it's definitely a story. So it's a story worth listening to. I guess also, but I was ready. Once I found out, I was like, oh, Friday? Okay, great. Because I'm just going to be at work, just, cutting up boxes, doing whatever, and don't talk to me. Because right now it's Adele's time. So my last recommendation is our good friend Stephanie Williams has come out with issue 2 of Nubia and the Amazons. So go to your local comic book or Comixology. Go pick that up. I have not done that yet. I meant to, but I just haven't been out to the bookstore. But I will. And lastly, Ghosts on HBO Max is absolutely hilarious. So if you need some kind of something just to laugh at, and it is say the one on Paramount Plus, go to the one on HBO Max, which is by the BBC. So watch that one. I'm only just started the second season, and it's great. I don't even want to talk about it. It's so funny. So yeah, I'll get into it next time. Our last bit before we close out are just our moments of gratefulness. We would just take a moment just to be thankful and grateful for something, that made us happy today or this week or whatever. And I'll have Kortney start with something, just whatever.
Oh no, I was expecting to go last.
Oh.
But I'm ready. So
okay.
I'm grateful. I have a lot to be grateful for. So I will try to be quick. I am grateful for my friends and my family. I'm grateful for Daniel, who's giving me faces. And I have to say that because he's right there. Just kidding. Just kidding. But, I understand that happiness is oftentimes hard to come by, and life can be really hard, and just the world, it can be really heavy. And so I really do cherish the people that are in my life that choose to be there. The ones that I'm born, we're born family. I'm grateful for them, where we can have a good relationship and talk about things and fight and then get over it, and because we love each other and we move on. I'm just grateful for those relationships that just kind of come naturally, and I have them no matter what. So I understand that not everybody has that. Some people don't have great relationships with certain members of their family or any of their family. A lot of people are still jobless right now. A lot of people don't have enough with the jobs that they do have. And I'm just grateful that I'm able to meet my needs and thrive and still do the things. That doesn't mean things are perfect, but I know my privilege, and I know that not everybody can say that. So I'm just so grateful that I can.
That's great. And Karen, what are you grateful for?
It's a lot. It's one of these things where, because of everything going on, it makes you go back to the simple things. It makes you kind of narrow down and kind of filter through all of the food is this and go, okay, what are the things that are most important to me, and cause you to reprioritize things? Because I'm grateful for just simple life, health, and strength. And a lot of times, that's what the old people say. When you're young, you go, whatever, because you got all that. But when you get older, you be like, oh, you think about it. Okay, I've been blessed where, nobody in my immediate family, kind of in our tight circle has caught COVID or anything like that. Nobody has passed from COVID, maybe external family, nobody has passed from it. No, when you think about those things, I'm grateful for those things. I'm very, very grateful for my husband, because I wouldn't want to be stuck in the pandemic with nobody else but him. Because, pandemic was so real, people was like, you know what, I'd rather catch the Rona than to deal with you. Like it got real. People was like, you know, I'm gonna pack my stuff and I'd rather be by myself than to deal with you. So I am glad, very grateful for, you know, my husband for being patient and dealing with me and things like that. And also I'm very grateful for my job because one thing I realized is that a lot of jobs are like, you vaccinated, come back to work. My job was like, stay at home forever. So I was like, you know what? Shout out to you for telling us to stay at home. I can't even get in the building no more. I will stay at home.
Amen.
You know, so I you know, I have no complaints, you know, because it's one of those things where you're talking about privilege. You know, I know gas and stuff is going up, but I don't have to deal with that. I don't have to deal with I thought about, I don't have to deal with the traffic, the bumper to bumper, you know, being out among people, which not trying funny, actually increases your chance of getting COVID. Like,
exactly.
You know,
right.
Kind of that hustle and bustle. And a lot of times when people do those things, you have a tendency to think life is normal when it is, but it ain't.
Right.
You know, it might be normal in the routine, but it's still not normal. You know, so I am very grateful, you know, for my job and my family and things like that. I am very grateful for the podcast and the ability to do the podcast, you know, because that's something that a lot of people, you know, can't do, you know, and I am very grateful for friends and family and loved ones. And the biggest thing I would say, I am grateful and I am thankful just to be loved, because there are a lot of people out there, they don't feel loved, you know, but I know I am loved. And if don't nobody love me, I love myself. And I hadn't always been that type of person, you know, so I'm very grateful to realize if don't nobody else love me, I love me, and I will give me all the love I need by myself if I have to. So I'm very grateful for those things.
Amen.
I know. Amen.
Right. Rod, what are you grateful for?
Pretty much the same thing as everybody else, you know, health, working, you know, doing a podcast for a living has always been a huge blessing. I've been grateful for that. You know, had some jobs before that. I told you I got laid off twice. Like, it wasn't even the great jobs. So I love doing what we do now. And just like, you know, we're in our 40s, we have no kids. So we're starting to finally like crack all the debt and stuff that we accumulated so far. So that's, you know, that's been a blessing, because, you know, that debt be strapping people down, man. And we've been able to enjoy things. You know, it's weird because the pandemic kind of shut everything down, and a lot of that time we just used it to pay everything off. It's like, well, we know we're not gonna be going out to eat, you know, all the time. So
let's get them student loans paid off. Let's
start cooking and start saving this money. And so we've been very fortunate to go through that. And then just, you know, new opportunities. We're just getting a lot of people knocking on our door with new things for us to try and do. And you know, it's always been kind of a weird thing to say with our show, because a lot of stuff is just us being fortunate and being like the right people giving us a chance. And so far so good, you know, even with our Spotify deal, like, you know,
they did right by us.
They did. Yeah. Like, we came out of that and felt like a lot of people come out of those deals and they're like, let me tell you why you should never sign a podcast deal. And we got to come out like, oh, that was nice. That was cool.
They did right by us. And it's nothing that we did. It's the fact that they just decided to end the program.
So those are, you know, that's definitely thing. And then my family, we're going to see them Thanksgiving. They live up the street. And a year ago, my mom was dropping off food on our doorstep. You know what I mean? There was no vaccine. We didn't want to get our parents sick and vice versa, you know? And now I get to at least have a small Thanksgiving get together with my family and, you know, cook something for them and eat what they cook. And I'm very thankful for that. And just having a family that, you know, we didn't have to struggle to get everybody vaccinated. That's been a big thing for a lot of families.
Amen to that.
Finding out things are very divisive and people have, you know, different reasons. And, you know, it's, especially with older family members, it's really hard to tell somebody used to change their diaper, like, hey, I'm taking care of you now. Let me tell you what I've learned. I've been very fortunate to not have to do that.
That's great. And I mean, yeah, it's been a year and a half. Well, actually more than that, but it feels much more than that. And there's definitely, that's a lot to be grateful for. So with that said, I agree with all three of you. Although I am working towards like one day wanting like this podcast or a network of podcasts to be my main job, because I love doing it. And what I'm actually grateful for is the two of you, so I'm so glad you guys took the time to hang out with us, because that's really what, it's like, that's what I invite people for, like people that I admire and that I like. It's like, come hang out with us and our show, just, because I'm grateful for you guys getting me through the pandemic, because I had to work. I work at a hospital, and I love the coronavirus segments.
Thank you.
As I mentioned in an email to you guys before, that I listen on twice the speed. So all of your songs and things that come through, just try it one day. Just listen to it on double the speed. It is awesome. But
you listen to the ad on double speed?
Even on double speed, yes.
A lot of people do that, because when they come into the chat, they're like, everything sounds so slow because I'm used to listening to y'all like double the speed.
Well, at least with like the last couple episodes, I left on regular speed because I didn't want to have you guys on. I'm like, why are you guys talking so slow? But then realizing, like, oh, right. Yeah. So I already reacclimated myself to what you normally sound like. So I was good. Like, okay, yeah, they're normal. Okay, good. All right. That's how they normally sound. Okay. And I think because I listen to everything in such a higher speed, I end up sometimes speaking faster than I should be.
You do.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Confirming that for me. Well, because when I'm at work, that's normally I have like 8 hours just to listen to music and podcasts, and I go back and forth. And first of all, thank you for encouraging everyone to take time off, because I mean, burnout is real. It was knocking on my own door. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to call it today. And I did. So
good.
It was just
get that energy back. Like, it ain't no joke.
Because it's real, especially with the job that I do. I'm not going to go into details here about it, but it's a lot. And I'm actually in the market to find another job. So anybody out there who's listening is like, oh, we need a producer or some kind of editor of some sort. I'm like, hey, I'm here for you. Got a whole website and everything ready for you to look at. So there's that. So I'm also grateful for sugar cookie sugar cookie cinnamon toast crunch. So I know that was a random segue. I just didn't even.
I know.
Cereal.
That sounds good.
It's like, I just threw that in there. But yeah,
I would try it.
It's delicious. I didn't take a picture of that one. In fact, I threw away the box today. It didn't even last like a few days because my lovely wife decided, those are good. And she kept eating them. So now I don't have them. She sent me a text today. It's like, hey, can I have the rest of the box? I'm like, okay.
Well, at least she asked you. That's why
that is
sweet of her,
Right.
I wouldn't ask.
She ran out of hers. So she's like,
oh, well.
That's not like our house. I eat my cereal up, then he eat his cereal up. So he purposely buys cereal that I won't eat.
Because Cinnamon Toast Crunch is my favorite cereal, so I was excited to see they've got apple pie toast crunch, which tastes really like apple pie. Like, it's surprisingly good.
Really, I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's for the holidays, so I might not have my gingerbread. But at least I have got the apple pie toast crunch, got the sugar cookie toast crunch. I recommend the sugar cookie one over the apple pie one. They're both really good. The sugar cookie has a more subtle whereas the apple pie just kind of hits you in the face and you don't want to keep getting hit in the face. So that's why I'm more so one than the other. But they're both really good though. I don't want to make it sound like it's a not a recommendation, but
okay.
I'm grateful for these companies that come out with these holiday flavors, except for Starbucks and Dunkin'. So, and if we were on Rod's podcast, it'll probably play the one about, not going to Starbucks because
always Dunkin'.
Always Dunkin'. Right. But yeah, that is what I'm grateful for. And again, grateful for your time. We've already gone way over than I intended. I apologize for that.
Fine, baby.
Oh, thanks. Well, we'll wrap it up by having you guys tell us where we can find you, because I know we've mentioned Spotify dozens of times, but there's other places you guys exist. And if you want to share that with the people, you can do so.
You can find us anywhere podcasts can be played. The Black Guy Who Tips. You can find us online at theblackguywhotips.com. You can find us on social media at TBGWT across all platforms except Instagram is the Black Guy Who Tips. You can find me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is at Say That Again. Roderick's Twitter handle is at Rodimus Prime.
Yep. And we also have a sale going on right now for our premium stuff where it's like a third off for people if they want to subscribe for African American Friday. So you can find that at theblackguywhotips.com. And once again, thanks for having us.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for coming. Kortney, what do you have to plug and follow if you want to be followed?
I choose to be perceived this week. You can find me on the Twitters at IMKHinton.
Okay. I was paying attention this time because the way you just ended so abruptly just gets me.
Oh, well.
So
I don't, I'm there. And if you don't want to be there, then that's okay. But that's where you can find me. So
Kortney, Susanna Hinton, I need you to calm all the way down. So.
Hey, I'm at a 2 right now. We're good.
I know. I just need to get your middle name in there for, because I change it every.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Every week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't normally spoil the secret like that. People who listen for a while usually figure out what is her middle name? But that's for me to know. You can follow me on
secret. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, yes. Follow me on all things at Indube and go to indube.com. Tell someone you value that you value them. Live without regrets and live for the folks you love. Please wash your legs, your face, the bottoms of your feet, and the undersides of your dishes. Get vaccinated and wear your mask. I've been your benevolent host, Sterling Watson. And remember, if the world didn't suck, we'd fall off.
No!
You're not going to fall off?
Thanks for listening to the Indube podcast, which was recorded from the south side of Wakanda in Little New Indubia on the corner of T'Chaka and MLK Drive, and is part of the Indube network. Want more Indube? Follow on Instagram and Twitter at Indube and on Facebook at IndubePod. You can contact us and send Ask Indube questions by emailing indubepod@gmail.com. Want to support or donate? Find the TeePublic Store or become a patron on Patreon, where subscribing gives you perks and extra things from the Indube network. Please subscribe, rate, comment, and share the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, Podbean, and wherever else podcasts are found. And of course, visit Indube.com for all of this and much more. Thank you so much for letting us entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Until next time.
Use your words, Chief. Good boy.
This has been another 3SFX production. Hey, dear listeners, just a gentle reminder that you can support the Indube Network by subscribing to the Indube Patreon at patreon.com/Indube.
But hold up, Sterling. I keep hearing about this website. What is Patreon?
So glad you asked. Patreon is a membership platform where subscribers can pay, fund, or donate to creators for content. In other words, if you subscribe for a small monthly fee, you can get bonus podcasts, reviews, videos, and just awesome extra goodies from the Indube Network.
So all that extra stuff we couldn't fit in this episode they're listening to right now will be on the Patreon?
Exactly, and so much more.
Oh, really? Well, where does my money go?
Well, podcasts cost money. Microphones, conferencing software, and host websites aren't free. So every little bit that a patron chips in helps produce the content they already love and enjoy. And for your contributions, based on how much you give per month, will unlock more perks to be enjoyed that are created specifically for patrons.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. So where do I go again?
Patreon.com/Indube. Browse around. Some posts are free. Most are $1, but you're free to do more and you will get more. And we at the Indube Network will certainly appreciate the help keeping the studio lights on.
That's for sure. And thank you to the patrons that are already supporting and enjoying all that extra bonus content. Like that one video where you did that one thing you said you wouldn't, couldn't, and shouldn't do.
Oh, I know. And I almost got killed to death trying to do it, but I did it and now it's done.
That was hilarious.
Good times.
Good times.